Hi guys!
Hi!
So today we are going to talk about meal plans and why we don't write meal plans for people. We get this question a lot on whether or not we write meal plans, and so we just wanted to kind of give you an overview of the why nots.
Yes.
To start, meal plans usually require the same foods over and over, day in and day out. You're kind of just repeating robotically, going through the motions. So there's not that flexibility of, if you're gonna fit in your favorite apple pie or a glass of wine. It's basically usually like chicken, broccoli, rice, eggs, boring, repetitive.
Yes.
So initially, if someone comes to us and they're like, well, I really want you to write out a meal plan for me because I just want you to tell me what to do. Well, yeah, initially that's going to be easier for you, but it's going to get really boring really quick, and you aren't learning how to do that for yourself. You aren't learning in real life how to make it work. So that's our goal in the end. So although it might be a little tougher at the beginning, it's worth it in the end.
Yes. And that's another reason we don't write meal plans, is because we really want you to develop the skills necessary to figure out what your body needs, what things to eat in certain situations when you're on the go, when you don't have a meal plan to follow. You need to learn those skills. If you're constantly referring to a meal plan or, aren't able to figure out what to eat without a strict structure like that, what's going to happen down the road when you have a holiday coming up or a business work party coming up and you haven't learned the skills on how to fill your diet and what your body needs in order to hit your goals without having to depend on a meal plan?
And we're all grown-ups. We're all smart, and we can learn new habits, and we can learn how to do these things. It's just committing to doing that. And so we're all capable of learning how to navigate those different situations and what's the best choice.
Yeah.
So commit to learning.
It's going to feel like a big, huge hassle at first. Think about back in the days that you were in school, and you walked into math class and they were teaching you something new in math that day, and your mind just kind of blew up at the idea of it. I don't even understand how this is going to ever make sense. And then through practice, it slowly became something that you were very familiar with, and then you questioned how you ever thought it was challenging in the first place. Same with your meal plans. It's going to feel like a challenge at first. You're probably going to feel like, this is a lot of work, but we promise you, the more you practice it, the better you're going to get. Your skill set's going to improve.
Meal plans create restriction. They put you in a box. Even if you go to someone, I know some nutritionists will give you a plan and then after so many weeks they'll switch it up or whatever, but in the end, it's still creating restriction. On that day-to-day, if you're cooking and all of a sudden you feel like having a steak instead of chicken, then, is that meal plan allowing for that? No. If you all of a sudden have something pop up and you want to go enjoy ice cream or go out to eat with the family, a meal plan's not allowing for that. It's really boxing you in, and you're married to that template, that write out of whatever you've been given. So it's not fun either.
It's not sustainable. I remember years ago, way back in my college days, I signed up with a local gym just to work out, and the woman that owned the gym used to be a bodybuilder, so she did on shows all the time. And at that time, I had no idea what a healthy nutrition really looked like. What I thought was healthy was not. And, her just trying to help me out, she gave me this very generic meal plan to follow. And it was literally, like Katie said earlier, rice, broccoli, chicken, egg whites, plain oatmeal. And that was it. Every day of the week, every single meal, you rotated through that. And life is way more about eating broccoli and chicken for every single meal.
Food is fuel, and that's what we use it for, but food is also social, and it can be fun, it can be delicious, and so just getting outside of that boring boring, 3 different foods
Mm-hmm.
is super important to keep it sustainable long term.
And the last reason we wanted to talk about as to why you should be saying no to meal plans is because your life is constantly changing. Whether that be you want to have a baby, you just had a baby, you're training for a competition, you're trying to put on muscle mass, you're trying to lose body fat, you have a vacation coming up, you have, your work schedule is changing. Mm-hmm. Life is constantly changing. You're not on a routine like that from week to week. And so meal plans don't allow the flexibility for those changes. Your life is constantly changing, so why should your nutrition stay the same?
And not only in the big picture, but in the small picture of like within a week, things change. You might have things planned out perfectly and something, your day gets totally flipped upside down. How are you going to handle that?
Yeah.
And so, look at the long term, because you want to create something and do even like the harder work and the hard things now, so that long term you can have success and feel confident on your own to know that you have those habits and those routines down pat, so that you can make the best choices in your everyday life.
Own your nutrition. Be a boss to your nutrition.
Yeah.
You don't want someone else telling you what to do and what to eat. You want to own it. You want to, like Kate just said, feel confident in your choices, and that's what it's all about.
Yep. So say no.
Yes.
Just say no.
And if you guys have any other questions about what you should be eating, we are happy to give you suggestions. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Give our video a thumbs up, and leave us a comment. We want to hear from you.
All right.
Bye.